Hi, welcome back. So, yesterday we learned all about the mountain region, which is in the western part of our state. Today we're going to move into the middle of our state and we're going to talk about the Piedmont Plateau region. So, the Piedmont is located between the mountain region and the coastal region. Piedmont is actually a French word and it means foot of the mountain because it comes off of the mountain. The Piedmont Plateau actually covers about 45% of the state. So remember, the mountain region was only 10%. This is 45, so it's considerably bigger than the mountain region. Okay. So, the land of the Piedmont is actually called a plateau because it is high and mostly flat. So, if you look at this diagram right here, this would be where the plateau would be. So, it's kind of flat up here. When we go into the coastal plain, you'll see that it's going to go back down closer to sea level, and then our mountain region would be up at the top. So, right now we're at this plateau, which is more of a higher elevation but flatter. Okay. The soil of the Piedmont is a bright red clay. So if you're digging down, that's where you will start to get that red clay as opposed to the sand that we have here in the coastal plains. The elevation of this region range from about 300 feet in the western coastal plain to about 1,500 feet closer to the mountains. So depending on where you are in the Piedmont region, will be either lower down at near the coast or higher near getting ready to go up into the mountains. Piedmont is made of rolling land and what is left of very old mountains due to erosion. Okay, so just like we talked about the different waterways in the mountain region, we're going to talk about the waterways in the Piedmont Plateau region. So the Piedmont has 7 major rivers. These rivers and their tributaries are the Dan, the Tar, Cape Fear, Yadkin, Catawba, Neuse, and Broad. And they actually drain the eastern side of the Blue Ridge. And they're carving out narrow, deep valleys in those hard rocks of the Piedmont. Okay. These streams and their valleys are not passable, but they have supplied numerous sites with water power uses. So even though they're not passable, which means you're not going to get from one place to another, they are used for their water power. Most of the lakes in this area are man-made, and the largest are the Fontana, the Normand, and Gaston. Okay. So, Piedmont region does have some natural resources, and you're probably looking here at these pictures going, oh my goodness, that is not natural. We don't dig in the ground and pull out a hand-carved bed. So let's go back and I'll explain. So gold and other valuable metals have been found in the Piedmont region. So just like you had gems up in the mountain region, you can still find some of those valuable metals in the Piedmont region as well. Textiles, which is fabric, are grown or are made from the materials that are grown in North Carolina. Tobacco, and of course, furniture. Now, the furniture is, of course, like I said, you're not going to pull a bed out of the ground, but you use the wood to carve those furniture. So the Piedmont region is like the furniture capital of the state. Okay, most rivers do provide that hydroelectric power. So again, like I said, we're using those waterways for other uses besides transporting goods. The largest population center is Raleigh, which is our state capital. Durham, Winston-Salem, Greensboro, and Charlotte. And so I'm sure some of you have had a chance to visit those places. So picking up off of those major cities, this region does contain the state's largest cities, which is why you saw a picture of the city in the slide before this one. Here is another picture of the cities, the major Piedmont cities and their populations. So you have Charlotte, which is actually the most populated, that has 731,000 people. Raleigh, which is the next heavily populated with 403,000 people. Then you have Greensboro, Winston-Salem, Durham, and Cary, which is up there kind of close near Raleigh. Okay, so Piedmont region. Again, like I said, our major cities are Charlotte, Raleigh, Greensboro, Durham, but it is actually home to some of the famous colleges or universities. So my favorite would be NC State, but that's because my son went there. But I know their rival is the Tar Heels. So we have UNC Chapel Hill, we have NC State, Duke, Wake Forest, and there are many more. I'm sure there's someone in your home or in your family that has probably attended one of these universities. Okay. Again, the economy of the Piedmont region, it is the economic center of the state. So you're going to find more of your big businesses, your big cities, more money is brought into the state in the Piedmont region as opposed to the coastal plains or the mountain region. We have livestock farming. We have the manufacturing of the furniture and textiles, like I mentioned before. There's banking, and there's also NASCAR, which is in Charlotte. You're also going to find the Research Triangle Park, and that is going to be, if you look at this map, you will see that the different places actually kind of form that triangle. Okay, so let's talk about the climate in the Piedmont region. We have the average mean temperature. So the average temperature is about 60 degrees Fahrenheit. And it's about 41 in January, so it gets pretty chilly, and about 78 in July. A little cooler than our temperatures in the coastal plain. Rainfall does vary widely in the area. They get between 35 and 90 inches of rain a year. Snow is less common in this region, like it's more common in the mountains, even less common in the coastal plains. But the snow is less common in this region during the winter months. The average amount is less than 9 inches per year. So if you want the snow, you're going to have to go to the mountains. Okay, again, I have our little video right here. I'm going to go ahead and play it, and I'm going to have to move it up a little bit. So we're actually going to start it. I want to start it right about here.
Region is all uphill from here. The Piedmont, from red clay to kudzus to NASCAR and banking, the Piedmont has most of the state's 10 million plus people. Railroads, research, and business tend to bring in a lot of people. Just saying, whether you're a Tar Heel, a Blue Devil, or a member of the pack, the Piedmont class is always in session.
Okay, so we're going to go ahead and move on. Again, you will see this is our graphic organizer, our map that we were working on. Yesterday, we filled in our information for the mountains. We drew that little picture right there, and we filled in all of our important information, so yours should already be complete. Today, we're going to work on our Piedmont. So I just drew a little picture that has that plateau right there because it is the Piedmont Plateau. For my diagram, yours can be however you would like it. Characteristics that define the region. We have the land is high, but it's mostly flat. Not quite as high as the mountains, but it is higher in elevation. We have rolling hills, and we have bright red clay. Okay. Important areas are parts of the region. We have the Piedmont Urban Crescent, which is Raleigh, Charlotte, Durham, Greensboro, Winston-Salem, and High Point. And they form like a crescent, which is that kind of a half circle, like a crescent moon would be. We also have Research Triangle Park, and that is those three areas that form that triangle. Okay. With water and river systems, we have the 7 major rivers. We also have tributaries which flow into larger streams or lakes. Okay, our natural resources. We have gold and other valuable metals have been found here. We have textiles, tobacco, and furniture made from wood. Okay. And then finally, for an interesting fact, I put down that this was actually the site of the first United States gold rush. So I thought that was pretty interesting as my fun fact. Now, if you're researching it and you find anything else that's interesting, you can also add that for your fun fact as well. Okay, so that's going to wrap it up for today. Tomorrow, we're going to come back and we're going to finish with our last region, which is going to be our coastal plains. So I look forward to seeing you all tomorrow. Make sure you are copying all your information in. Remember, on Wednesday, you are going to actually submit a copy of your graphic organizer to your teacher so you don't, so you want to have it done as we're going along. Okay, I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.